Hey, how's it going? Okay, Crisis. Hey guys, I hope everything's well, everyone out there.
Hey, I
Hope
just
everything's
realized I had my
fantastic.
microphone muted during my whole intro, so uh, everyone heard you saying hello first. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Amateur Hour here on Gamestah TV, brought to you by none other than me, Crisis. Some professionalism brought to you by Mendrix, as we bring you the Skynet Winter Tournament. One of these days, you'd think after doing shoutcasting for over 8 years that I'd get this right from the start, but today is not that day. Nevertheless, we've got Gnet and friends versus HKC from Wellington, the Skynet Cafe in Wellington. And let's just run through the teams very quickly. On the blue side, Gnet and friends is Luke, Royal Titus, the Song Nang Mao, Hayden, and Too Lazy. And that is actually a shuffled up team from the previous game, isn't it, Mendrix?
But those things, yeah, I know Royal Titus was there. He did a fantastic job playing Echo in the last game, although it wasn't enough to really bring his team on through there. Song Neng Mao was the Lulu support as well. And Too Lazy, I believe, was
ADC.
ADC. That's correct, yeah.
So Hayden's a new player. Let's see if he is able to turn the fortunes around for Gnet and friends, who are going up in the second match of the day against HKC. Now HKC are Sizch. Is that Sizch? Sizch? Sizch or something? Design.
You gotta have that like Russian gangster sort of
Sizch.
accent to make really pull it off, I think.
And the rest of his team: Design, Jonty Wanty, Spectre, and Sykes.
Everyone likes a good Sykes in the side going through. Psych? No, I'm joking. No, but Sykes was good. Happy to see what he does. He's going to be in that support role as well, coming on through in that situation. Looking across for the bans at the moment. Nah, Rumble, LeBlanc, Caitlyn, Rengar, Nautilus. A few that I didn't expect to be there. A few that I did. Rumble there. Nautilus definitely big bans at the moment. Nah, he was popular a little bit before in the last patch, but he's sort of fallen off before. Guess maybe he's a bit too hard to use. But apart from that, very standard bans all around, but looking at these teams, both teams are putting together very strong sides.
Yeah, Gnet and friends going for. Well, I guess the Song Nang Mao just didn't want to deal with the LeBlanc in the mid, picking up Azir, and Azir very very strong in lane.
Oh, well, Z is one of those big meta picks at the moment. There's got this thing going around where all the new champions are considered to be, the best in slots at the moment for those particular areas. So you got a Z in the mid lane, Rek'Sai in the jungle, Kalista as ADC, Bard for support, and then you're also looking at the fact that even Echo himself could be in the top lane, something that a lot of players might try to pull up. So there's a lot of things that are happening there at the moment. Bard not as strong as the other three, the Rek'Sai, the Azir, and the Kalista. Those ones are very solidified positions at the moment. And as we're talking about Kalista, she's also in the game on the red side at the moment.
Yeah, HKC Spectre picking up the Kalista. We've got one more pick for the red team for HKC. And there it is. So the full team now in place. Kalista getting supported by Sykes on the Thresh, and a very strong combination, really. Getting Thresh, giving him that free flash forward with the knock-up, and then dropping down the box.
Yeah, it's really fantastic initiate. On top of that, even if that misses, guess what? We do have a flay and hook follow-up as well. So if you don't get those hit, that's okay. We still have those gap closes. We still have a way to catch you if that initial tempered... No, it's really annoying because the ultimate of Kalista is very similar to Bard's ultimate. So let me just make sure I've got that right when I actually go through and have a look at these abilities in that regard. Fate's Call, that's right. Tempered Fate for Bard, Fate's Call for Kalista. When the Fate's Call comes on through in those situations, very big. If it misses, it's not too bad there on the side of Thresh, because the moment that box comes down, it'll probably catch anyone that did just miss out in that situation. And even if they manage to avoid that, guess what? There's a death sentence to follow up.
Yeah, really, really powerful zone control in trading situations and in teamfight situations. Well, we're into the countdown, so let's just reveal the summoner skills. We were having a look at these teams before, Mendrix, and it's Silver 3 for Gnet and Friends versus Challenger for HKC.
I have complete and utter faith at the moment looking at the side of Gnet and friends. Let's show them that they're not gods up there. They do have, they can bleed. It's one of those things that everyone seems to have this whole stigma behind them that challengers better. The big thing that challengers are better at when it comes against the, those lesser players, when it comes to those in the silver and that, is that, okay, one, yes, the mechanics are better, and they do have a bit more better decision making. But the big thing looking at, they're really good at managing what cooldowns are down and what cooldowns are up. They know when your ultimates are up, they know when your summoners are up, and they know when they're down at the same time. That's why they're very careful. But when they take their initiates, they tend to look through, bait out those summoners, bait out those ultimates, and once they've done that, that's when they'll go through and punish you for it, having theirs up at the same time. That's the real big difference between them. So if you look at these in situations, it means there's a chance. There is a chance that Gnet and friends can come through against HKAYCEE. There's always a chance.
Well, they showed as well in the previous game that when the chances are offered to them, they take them. And they were able to give their opponents a little bit of a hiccup in the middle of the game. Admittedly, their opponents were being a little bit arrogant, maybe a bit overconfident about their position. And
double sword of the occult.
Yes, and who knows? Maybe HKAYCEE is going to fall into the same trap, and we'll see Gnet and friends bloody their lips just a little bit through that. Royal Tide is picking up a very interesting jungle. I haven't seen an Olaf in the jungle for ages.
He's actually really picked up a lot of popularity quite recently as well, because there's this massive tank meta at the moment. There's a lot of disruption, a lot of CC stopping the bruisers from getting onto the ADCs and really causing a lot of damage to them. So how do we get through this tank meta? Well, if you have an Olaf in there that can pop his ultimate, become completely immune to CC and just charge at your ADC, well, there's not really much you can do in that situation. He's just going to run straight at you and take you out in that situation. So that's why he's really strong at the moment, because there's all these tanks being like, well, we're going to lock you down, we're going to stop you. Well, on the side of Olaf, no, you can't. If I want to get on your ADC and I've got my ultimate, I will get on your ADC. And that's why he's so popular. That and the fact that you've got Righteous Glory as well. If you couple that with his ultimate that recently got the buff with the speed boost, with also doubling that up with the Righteous Glory, he can get to where he needs to go really quickly.
And I assume that he would have been one of the junglers that would have benefited from Cinderhulk as well.
He is one of the junglers that benefits from Cinderhulk as well. Mind you, that was nerfed recently, and it's quite funny that he wasn't picked up during the whole, exodus of the Cinderhulk buff, where it was just massive. And then everyone's kind of like, you know what, he's actually pretty good, let's also use him as well in that situation. But looking from the sides of the teams, they both have very interesting teams. Both of them are fantastic in terms of what they bring to the team fight situation, but they're both very different at what they do. You got this massive engaged team on the side of Gnet and friends, while HKAYCEE are rolling more of a pick composition. They've got that Death Sentence, they've got the Charm, they've got the root on through from Maokai as well. As we just go into a small pause in the situation, but basically looking through here, they have a very, very pick comp team. The other one's more, let's get in your face and really start this fight and brawl it out.
Alright, not really sure what the pause is. Of course, this is a game a match taking place, in fact the whole tournament taking place in an internet cafe. So they'll have admins on hand, and of course internet cafe techs on hand to make sure that whatever technical issues arise have been sorted out. We've got ready ups going through from both of the teams though, and we are back onto the rift. So G&T, that's Gnet and friends versus HKAYCEE, blue versus red on the rift right now, as we roll out and see just what these two teams can do to each other. Loving the bro laugh. Bro!
Chug! Yeah, gotta love the bro laugh when he comes on through, throwing out those axes made of styrofoam that seem to just do so much damage early in those situations. That's a really interesting sentinel that was thrown out there, just going down the mid lane. They're just gonna throw away 10 free gold straight away to Gnet and friends. I guess they're sort of in that situation, you know what, we don't need this, you can take it. And funnily enough, Brom got it, didn't give it to the ADC there. And they are sitting on a ward. They think they might have the advantage, but they're sitting on a ward.
Hey, just having a look at this team, we were talking about Olaf and his ulti ignoring all CC. The opposing team, every single one of them has some form of CC.
Yes, that's just not going to work. if Olaf wants to get on Spectre. The saving grace of Spectre is the fact that he does have that hop away. That's not something that will be affected by Olaf's, unaffected by Olaf's ultimate. She can still just throw her spears on out and just hop away from him slowly. But he has a lot of potential to get on top of her with that axes. The moment one lands, she is going to slow down. That's also going to slow down her hop back, and that means he can get on her and really throw out those reckless swings, make sure that true damage hits her hard.
And of course, this is where that knowledge of what's on cooldown is going to come into play. So HKC will no doubt be focusing on exactly where the capabilities of Olaf are residing in terms of his skills, as the minions finally arrive in lane. And we have pretty much standard startups going on. Well, no, it's not a standard startup. Luke has decided he's going to take the Wraiths.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that they've gone through and done that. That's not interesting to see. What am I saying? That is very standard. He will go through and take the Wraiths because Olaf doesn't really need them straight away. He's going to pick up those golems, then go to his red, and just probably go straight to his blue, which means by the time he does want to pick up his Wraiths, they would have respawned in that situation as well. What this does, it gives a really big early boost to Hecarim, because he can go back now, use the extra gold to get more sustain, and then go into lane. So what you'll find is normally Maokai has the advantage in lane, not now in this situation. Now that he's got so much sustain, he'll probably be able to sit there and trade with him, and plus he's also upper level now, so he should get more experience. But Haydn has taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's going straight in and forcing the trades from HKAYCEE right now. And in fact, it's driven him out of lane. Look at that, less than 200 HP after a single trade. HKAYCEE taking damage both from the horse and from the minions. So, well, what a welcome into the lane.
Yeah, they're just coming through. That's one of the raw power things with Kalista, that Ren just doing so much damage. As well, at the moment, you've got in that mid lane, as he is really pushing them out. But as you can tell, at the moment, Luke is also bullying out the tree as well. So, really, in that situation, it's sort of just like a lot of good trading just happening along the map. And it seems to be one of those things where, okay, so the bottom lane's getting the advantage, and in the mid lane, he seems to be going towards the side of blue. Too lazy gets hit with a hook, but he is Brom, and he doesn't really care if he gets a death sentence.
Yeah, he gets to stand behind me, going and manages to negate a huge amount of the damage. Luke taking a bit of damage from the golems, but I think he's going to be okay.
No, yeah, everything seems to be fine in that situation.
No.
He's slowly just pushing on through now as well onto the tree there. The tree's trying to hold him off there, but he doesn't really have the wave clear yet. Once he gets to around level 4, he will pick up the wave clear necessary to really push this Hecarim away. It's one of those things where Maokai is just constantly relevant throughout the entire game. But there goes Royal Titus. He's jumping onto Ahri at the moment. But she's just going to get away. Good old Q.
Yeah, he shows himself in lane, gets the Q, down, and then heads on into his opponent's jungle. So, doing what he can to get himself ahead of the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it's a bit funny now at the moment because he's going to go through. He's going to be able to take away that camp there for him as well. Rek'Sai has done an early back, which means he will get more gold each camp that he takes down as well. Plus, his ganks will be a lot more potent because Olaf hasn't backed yet as well. HKAYCEE is doing a really good job as well, but he just took a lot of damage. But
mid lane, we've got first blood, in fact, just in time there. Out of nowhere, a soldier pops out through the ground and finishes off the job that Olaf started. So the Song Nang Mao having a much better game as, well, we head down into the bottom lane. Too lazy, taking a huge amount of damage. He's going to go down, surely. Spectre picks up the kill, and Haydn now, as the Jinx, just trying to trundle away, gets flayed away. The flash is forced out. In comes Spectre. 2 flashes, in fact, from that bottom lane, and Spectre picks up the kill there. Sykes didn't quite have to take the flash, but I guess better safe than sorry at this stage of the game, and that is a double kill to the bottom lane of HKAYCEE.
Yeah, very cheeky heal at the end there just to see if he could bait Spectre on through as well. He thought he had gotten out as well, but then the flash into that auto attack made sure to finish him off as well. Up in that middle lane, that was a fantastic come through as well. Damage from that soldier just seemed to be a little bit too much as well at the very end. Probably that executioner damage talent just making sure that they can get that kill in that mid lane as well. Royal Titus knew they had gone through and taken a little bit of chunk out of Ahri there and basically coming on through and helping her out one more time. But that bottom lane coming through, that was a one out win in that situation. HKAYCEE as well is in a bit of trouble. There goes the Ignite.
Well, Luke might have gone in too deep. In fact, he has. as he goes in for the tower dive on Saicha, and Saicha pins him in place underneath the turret, and it was too many hits. So it is 3-1 now in favor of HKC.
Yeah, now they're just starting to show their dominance in the situation. Luke was just a little bit too aggressive in that situation. Look at that aggressive teleport as well coming on through from Sache. He knows his lane was pushing as well, so he really wanted to just get back to lane as fast as possible, make sure he's not losing any more CS. He's finished his Catalyst now, and that's very bad news as well going on through for the Hecarim, because he's down in a farm and he's down a kill as well. So it's going to be very hard for him to try and come back in the situation. There goes Jonty Wonder, he's going on to Sungan Mao.
Yeah, he's gotten himself well caught. In comes HKC Design just in time to pick himself up and assist out of that. Jonty Wanty had done the work really though, and that is it. So Royal Titus arrives back in lane again after the action has occurred. Just too late to be in position to do a counter gank, but in time to pick up a little bit of extra farm. But of course he's been he showed himself in lane at the moment. Saicha up at the top though, trying to exchange, trying to keep the dominance in place after picking up that very unlucky kill on, unlucky for Luke I suppose, lucky for Saicha.
Harden's in trouble. And Harden gets taken out there. Oh my, and Two Laces in trouble too.
Yeah, so this might actually be another double kill to the bottom lane. Yes, in fact, Spectre picks up yet another 2. So that is 6-1 for HKC. And they're focused now on an earliest dragon in comparison to the last game. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Saiche just trying to get away. Royal Titus picks him up with an axe into the backside. And we're back to the dragon at the moment. With the jungler up in the top lane for Gnet, the dragon is going to be pretty safe for HKC to pick up.
Yeah, just trying to get a kill for the dragon at the moment, but do bear in mind that HKC in the bot lane have managed to pick up also another double kill as well on the side for Kalista at the moment. She's now 3-0-1. Her Ren damage is going to be huge. And the fact that they got on Dragon so early as well, not really early, that's actually normal time to pick up a Dragon once you see a trade happening as well in the game just coming on through. Now they picked up as well, they also have so much neutral objective control. That Ren damage, once it builds up enough stacks, is just almost impossible to really beat out Kalista on. She does more damage than the smites as well. And from that situation now, they also pick up that early little buff as well coming on through. Not as potent as it is to pick it up in the mid game because you don't have enough gold to really affect those bonus stats, but it's still a nice little thing to pick up as well, just really making big advantage of the fact that, well, we've already got the kill in the bottom lane, we don't have a jungler or any presence in the top lane, let's make sure we get this dragon so that way it's all good.
So we got trading going on at the top lane again, Luke versus Saicha. Saicha coming out on top there. Meanwhile in the middle lane, Songnang Mao picks up a kill on Jonty Wanty yet again. So Jonty Wanty really chancing his arm, going in a little bit too early. Rek'Sai was coming down through the river and looking to support the kill there, but unable to do so. Royal Titus now arrives and is going to kill himself, Pink Ward, and possibly head back into the lane there to help. No, I thought he might help Songnang Mao to push the lane up and get it crashing against the turret, but it's going to do that anyway.
Yeah, it's just really dangerous to dive Azir. When he's got that Emperor's Divide, the moment you try to go in there, he's just going to push you directly into that tower. And even if he doesn't have a tower up, he'll just use his passive, bring one to life, so he's got one to help out in that situation as well. So it's kind of hard. Ari's got a lot of assassination potential.
Oh, Hayden's gotten himself caught by a death sentence. He takes a bit of damage down. Too lazy gets the stand behind me in place though, so it's not too bad. But that was not a trade, that was just damage for free going down onto Hayden, and he is now less than 50% HP. As the tower dive is anticipated, Hayden flashes away. He's sticking around though, he's got a couple of stacks of the spear poked into him. But Ari lurking down, pops the ulti, the Spirit Rush comes through. Hayden's gotten caught in the box as there's that combo coming through. We've got TPs down into the lane from Saicha and Luke, and they're now underneath the turret. Luke is isolated. This is going to be a 4 versus 1 because, of course, it was a double kill. Braum falling very shortly after the Jinx. And, in fact, he's doing what he can. Pops his ulti, gets some damage down, but nice little rotating of the damage between these champions. And that is going to be 3 kills and a turret down in the bottom lane. Nice reply though from Royal Titus and Songnang Mao, who have pushed up into the mid lane and are looking to take down a second tier mid lane turret.
Yeah, so they're just taking advantage of the situation as well. They're like, okay, no worries, we've lost 3 players and the bot turret, but there's no pressure anywhere else on the map. So let's just push this as hard as we can, take an extra 2 turrets for our team. And it really opens up the map in terms of, well, now we've got access to the blue, we've got access to the red. HKAYCEE also taking advantage of the situation. You don't have any pressure in the top lane, so you know what? I'm taking that tower as well. But he's just going to back away now. He doesn't really have enough minions to really push through and crack that. Not the same amount of damage as Azir and the Olaf. So they give enough time for Hecarim to really make it back to lane and make sure that it didn't go down. But there's a lot of damage down to that. Look for Maokai to take that very shortly.
Well, I like that response from Gnet and friends in terms of identifying. We've got 4 champions from our enemies down at the bottom lane, so let's take what advantage that we can. Saicha has he fancies his chances against Luke, who's now going into a proxy farming kind of situation, running into his enemy's jungle to try and get away. He's not really he's taking a lot of damage at this stage, and in fact he gets executed. So beautifully done there.
That was really the best outcome in that situation. He had been caught out. He forced the ultimate out of Rek'Sai as well. He wasn't really going to win a one-on-one fight against Maokai anyway. That was really good. The hook lands on something now.
Songnang Mao is good. He gets the Emperor's Divide down. That's his get out of jail free card, but he's only got one of them. Lays in the meantime forced to flash away. And, well, the saving grace of Azir is his wave clear with those soldiers. So there's no minions allowing a follow-up from HKAYCEE at this stage. And in fact, Songnang Mao feeling pretty confident at this stage, trying to get some damage down onto Spectre, but the lifesteal on the Kalista, very, very strong, and he's at full health as they transfer focus onto this mid-turret.
Yeah, he's really got his Bloodthirster finished at the moment. 4-0-3 for his team coming out big. Luke is demonstrating charging through. There he goes. Will they get anything from it?
Oh, he catches one, but unfortunately, Lazy 2 is the one that actually goes down. He went in for support, and Sykes got out of his own jail when Kalista popped the ulti. So that is a trade, Braum for none.
Yeah, it feels like it's very dominant on the side of the Red Seed at the moment, 3-10. That Gold League doesn't seem to illustrate it that much. It seems to be only about close to about 2.5k going on through on their side that they've got it as an advantage at the moment. Look for that to really increase as the farming goes on through. There's a Magi Soul Stealer on the side of Irie at the moment. She's feeling very, very confident that she's going to come through and actually really carry the team as well. 4-2-1. Looking at that Kalista at the moment she's probably going to go straight for a Blade of the Ruined King. She's already finished a Bloodthirster. Having extra sustain on Kalista is just so big because it just lets you keep on hopping, and eventually once those Ren stacks are too high, there's no way you can get through that damage and she'll just pop you.
So Dragon is up, and there is some posturing going on around it, but there might be a little bit of trouble for Gnet and friends. They were hoping to pick up that bottom turret, but Jonty once he's come in and gets a charm down onto Lazy, onto 2 Lazy that is, who manages to get out. There was no follow-up from there, but they've gained position, gained map position, and will take down this Dragon virtually uncontested, I think.
Well, they're definitely going to try. There seems to be some players going through. Titus is going back, so they're probably not, never mind, he's going to go for it. But it's just so hard to try and take a Dragon from a Kalista. It's just a bad idea. 2 Lazy goes down. Nice charm coming through from Jonty Wanty. I think they were trying to be a bit cheeky there. I think he put the lantern and he was going to flash the wall and pull him over, but that didn't work out for him.
Right, so we've got a new mid-turret temporarily put up there by Songnang Mao, getting the defensive, the defensives going here, and successfully so as well. So holding off that lane right now. Rek'Sai though is lurking around the flank, looking for a flanking opportunity, and Songnang Mao might actually, well, he wasn't quite in trouble, and unfortunately I want to call it Super Mega Death Rocket, but it's probably not called that. That's probably
no, Super Mega Death Rocket, that's right.
What was it that? I was thinking, is it maybe the ulti of Ziggs?
Ziggs is Inferno, something Mega Inferno Bomb.
Mega Inferno Bomb. There you go. All right.
Yeah, but Super Mega Death Rocket is Jinx's ulti, yeah.
Sache has got, well, he's got a horse paying attention to him, but he has his turret over there, and the turret is pretty healthy, so Luke not following in there. As Azir's turret disappears in the mid lane, and they're really, I guess Gnet really struggling at the moment for something to do.
Yeah, they're just posturing on the map, around the map to see if there's any objectives they can take. Don't you what he goes on in on Hyden.
Yeah, he's caught Hyden, who gets away though, but the rest of the team is here. The knockup from Design picks up 2 players, but now the chase is on, the turnaround. Royal Tide is doing work. He's isolated Jonty Wanty. There's 3 players, sorry, it's 2 versus 2, and unfortunately one of those players is Spectre, who takes care of him. Sykes hanging about, gets a death sentence out of nowhere. That's incredible. And the quadra kill onto Kalista. For a moment there, it actually looked as though things were pretty even in that fight with the way things were splitting up. But beautiful play there from Kalista. And then a beautiful death sentence from Sykes. Changes things around to a 4-0 in that engage.
Kalista is just huge at the moment. Like I said, we're looking on the side there of the rest, and they got this big sort of pick team. We're gonna find someone, blow them up immediately, take an objective from it. There's that Super Mega Death Rocket, but side chase just too big. Sykes doesn't get picked up, and neither does Design at the moment. So really nothing coming from that Mega Death Rocket. You have to give them points for trying though. But like I was mentioning before, there's a pick side for HKC at the moment, and in that situation, it didn't actually come out for them too well. They managed to they sort of made a pick, but it was on the wrong target. And then that massive engaged team that Gnet and friends have was what you saw there. That was what there was, that little moment of truth when I thought, oh, maybe they will come out on top in the situation. But then the thing was, Spectre was just too big, able to pick up that quadra kill, and look, he found Luke.
Yeah, Jonty Wanty is going to get this kill in the end there. Uses a Spirit Rush to make sure that the horse doesn't get away. So Speed Pony lies dead. He's been put down. No more races, just for about 50 seconds. Well, 20
Opening
seconds.
up a glue factory.
It's still early, actually.
It is early, yeah. It's not 20. It's nowhere near that 20-minute mark, and they're opening up a glue factory. He's died 4 times.
Oh boy. Well, Jonty Wanty sticking around down in the bottom lane. His ulti's down, so it is a bit of a risky maneuver. He doesn't have a flash either, so he's going to have to be real careful at this stage. Not a huge amount of ward coverage, so he heads on out of that lane and towards the mid lane to catch up with the rest of his team, who are doing work in this top jungle. You can see they've targeted the top lane second tier turret, and they arrive just in time to join the minions there and start to get the DPS down. And by DPS I mean HKC Spectre putting down loads and loads of damage. It is 2/3 down already by the time the reinforcements arrive.
Yeah, there's just a lot of damage. Jonty Wanty's found Royal Titus. He's popped his ultimate again.
Oh, he's going to go down. He got himself caught out in the jungle, followed the wrong pathing, and in fact, Songnang Mao gets caught as well. His Emperor's Divide gets him out, but that's a cooldown down. Too lazy, trying desperately to get out from where he's been caught as well, and not really sure why they're fighting in that channel, as Kalista picks up a triple, and that is an ace onto Gnet and friends.
Yeah, Soma now thought they actually managed to have a really good engage there because he had his Emperor's Divide push them up against the wall, and once you have them trapped in that situation, they just bump between the soldiers and the wall all the time, but just not enough good positioning there. Spectre, again, just coming out huge for his team. He is 12-0-4 at the moment. He's got a Phantom Dancer and that Bloodthirster as well, so he's not going to go down anytime soon. And really, it's just sort of one of the, like Murder She Wrote at the moment, where the thing is there's not much they can do. Spectre is just so big at the moment. The big thing they need to do is try to be sneaky, and maybe go for a Desperation Baron, but look at the wards on the side for HKC at the moment. They've got that entire area warded as like a Christmas tree. And if you look on the side of the blue side, they've got their wards sort of in their own jungle near their red side, but the problem with that is that that's not where the things are happening at the moment. The Baron's the next big objective coming on through, and you need those wards to be near the dragon if you want them to be anywhere, because now they're just going to go through. They've got control of the Baron area as well, and no vision really to help them point that out to them.
Yeah, Royal Titus has just taken the Scuttle Crab, so they've got the bare minimum of vision at this stage, but of course that's on a short timer, and they need to be able to follow it up with some well, with a little bit more, really get some wards up there. But right now, what do we have? Dragon spawning. Yeah, that's why everybody's moved on down here. Royal Titus might have gotten himself caught doing a little bit of a dance there, I guess.
Just a little bit of dance. There's a little bit of a jig, bit of a shindig happening there for him. He just chugged too much and he decided to start dancing in the situation. The damage from Kalista is huge, just really ripping through that dragon. They almost caught too lazy there as well. Those charms have been really on cue, really on point. What a flash!
Flash from HKAYCEE Sykes, and he hooks a minion who was put to death as a result. But only the minion. Sykes gets out. Kalista getting him safe. Luke is overextended a little bit. Too lazy comes in to follow up. But the turnaround is on now. HKAYCEE Sykes getting the peel on. And Kalista, once again, it's like every single engage that occurs, it's an opportunity for Kalista to get yet another kill. And is now
just really padding her KDA at the moment, 13.05 as well. Definitely going to help her stats out there for that LoL King and any other sort of competition she might have put herself into as well. But it's at that point where they're just brute forcing down. They have a 10k gold lead at the 22-minute mark. There goes Jontawanti onto Songman now.
Yeah, this whose base is this? Because Jontawanti is behaving as though it is his own. In fact, Sight as well, on extremely low health, eats a super mega death rocket, but it doesn't do enough damage. He's kind of got himself a little bit trapped. He's going to go in on the Jinx to try and pick up something. Jinx has got really low HP for this stage of the game. Still only level 10 at the 22-minute mark. 1 point in his ulti, and well.
She doesn't have an item finished either. Heiden's really strapped for gold. He's only got... He may have a BF sword and a pickaxe, but that's no Infinity Edge finish. If you look on the side for HKAYCEE Spectre at the moment, he's got a Bloodthirster, a Phantom Dancer, and another BF sword on top of that. He is just mountains ahead at the moment. He is huge.
Oh, and quietly, while things were happening, Jontawanti has managed to not only buy a Magias, he's actually stacked it to 20.
Yeah, just it's kind of hard to see there because the 2 mark is sort of hidden by the glowing factor of the Magi's as well. He's managed to just come through and just really pick up enough kills, just popping them through towards the end there. 828 as well. His deaths were really early, so probably they just stacked up over time while we're sitting there watching them go through into a brilliant display. And there goes Rotitus, he's caught out.
Yeah, Sykes has caught him with a death sentence, but there's, well, I was going to say little follow-up. He gets flayed as well. He pops his ulti as Jontawanti is hanging around. I don't know, they want to give it to somebody. Long-range death sentence from Sykes, who in the end picks up Royal Titus himself.
Yeah, he knew he was caught in that situation, so he was just trying to waste as much time as possible. But the red side now, HKAYCEE, have turned their attention towards that Baron. They're going through clearing out the wards and clearing out their wards. They have 3 sweepers at the moment. They've got that 1 ward there on the side for Maokai as well, because he's probably going to try and split push aside in there. And then they've also got that vision lens for their ADC. Very strong pickup from there, but he's going to try and get onto Luke now. HKAYCEE design chasing after him. But he's just too fast. There's a reason why we call him the speed pony.
Yeah, gets himself out of there nice and safely, and really creates the situation where the Baron is a lot safer. They know that Luke has had to do pill, and, well, they have all the vision they could possibly hope for. In the meantime, Azure gets the shutdown.
Yeah. He's rolling distraction at the moment. He manages to get through, pick up a kill on a Haydn. Maybe you've done it at the sacrifices of his own life, but his team picks up the Baron throw. They've got Titus too.
Yeah, flash forward from HKAYCEE design just to make sure. And that is 2 champions down for Gnet and friends. Buffed minions, Baron buffed minions, heading down the lanes heading down mid lane at the moment as HKAYCEE look to start to close out this game, really.
Yeah, now that they've got the Baron as well, they've got the tools they need to really crack the base. They don't have the strongest siege team. really the only person with a really good length of poke is Jonty Wanty. You do have that spear coming on through from Callista, but it is very, hit or miss in most situations when you're trying to use it as a poke. It's more one of those point blank, I'm going to kill you with straight away hits. But it's very hard for them to really crack this base, even with that Baron as well, because there's just so much wave clear on the side of Gnet and friends. That Azir is just fantastic to really push those waves away, and then having that long range Q rocket from Jinx definitely helps out as well.
Just have a look at that vision for the red team. Deep pink wards. How many pink wards do they have? They got 3 pink wards down at the moment.
1, 2, yep, 3.
Yeah.
They're missing 2. They need 2 more.
Yeah, who are the slackers?
Who are the slackers in this
situation? If you click on the pink, does it tell you who it's from?
Yeah.
Game it does, so Rek'Sai's got one at the Baron, and then the next one is Maokai in that jungle, and I bet you this is Ares. Yep, Jonty Wanty down there. So it's the bottom lane. It's the carry and the support who don't have pink wards down.
What are they doing, unfortunately for them? I guess, they don't really need it, though, because, to be fair, Spectres is carrying at the moment. He probably said to them, look, I'm not buying pinks this game, it's just going into my items, guys. Don't mind the fact that I probably have the most gold on the team and can probably easily afford it on top of that. I'm going straight carry, pick up my slack, okay? Now, they've managed to pick up another pink ward there, so I think they got
No, that's Rek'Sai moving his pink ward.
He's just moved his pink ward. There you go. Never mind, I was going to say that maybe they picked up the slack there. Never mind. Sykes, he's a support, but he thought, guys, I've already got enough wards down. Let me be.
Turret goes down very, very quickly. Azir doesn't have his ulti available. His passive available. Luke goes in, tries to get the flank. Really all it does is set up a kill for the Callista. Sykes follows up, and then it's basically everybody gets to eat at the dinner table today. Ari picks up a kill, and finally the double kills start to fall. One for each of the carries, bottom lane and mid lane, and that is another ace pushing down onto this turret, heading in for yet another. Oh well, I was going to say they were going to clean up the race, but Fantasy League be damned. As the surrender goes down from GNT. Well, they put up a good fight, Mendrix.
They did put up a good fight, and it was a team that was definitely stacked against them. You have a challenger team versus this lower sort of silver gold team of a couple of maybe of a diamond mixed in there. They did very well considering the situation. It wasn't a complete sort of stomp in this, where it was like, okay, at 20 minutes we're going to have you beat, or before 20 minutes we're going to have you beat. And that's what I was mentioning before. They're just better at monitoring the cooldowns. And when it comes to that level of skill, just the mechanics are a little bit better. Their decision making is a little bit better. But they're just really good at monitoring what's up, what's down, what can I make, what can I take advantage of. That's the big things that you need to look for. And once you guys get that sorted out, you can easily climb on through. So very well play there on the side of Gnet and friends, but at the moment, that challenger team just too strong.
Well done to HKC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will be returning in about 10 minutes with match number 3 from the Skynet Winter Tournament, played live from the Skynet Internet Cafe in Wellington. This is Crisis, and Mendrix signing out.